Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. No. Hi everyone, welcome to Disguise. Oh, again, weird.
Anyone know how these things are supposed to go? This is clearly not how you do an introduction to a video.
Hi.
Just do the video.
Today I'm going to be doing this look, so it's caged kind of over the mouth, speak no evil thing. And as you can see, I've already done the glam half of this makeup, so if you do want a tutorial for this glam makeup, then comment below. So why have I chosen to do this look for my first video? Basically, I've always been into makeup for years, since I was younger. I've loved doing glam makeup. I started getting into Halloween makeup a couple of years ago. Always loved it, always loved the art of it, and this look is inspired from Glam and Gore's video. Mikey is amazing. If you haven't heard of her, you should check her out. But this is an inspired look from her version of it, purely because she's the one that kind of got me into the special effects side of makeup. I loved watching her videos, I still do, and she's kind of the inspiration behind this look. Yeah, so you should definitely check her out. I'll link her below. As this is my first video, I'm going to start doing more videos in the future. I'm also going to be I'll do some glam videos, do some special effects videos, and more specific videos such as how to put in contact lenses, how to take them out, how to remove prosthetic makeup and apply it properly, so you don't rip off your eyebrows or anything like that. Also just kind of like character looks. I'm really into doing characters. You should check out my Instagram. There's a few on there for you to have a look at. And we'll just get straight into the tutorial. So, what you're going to need is quite a few of these, so just normal cotton buds. And what I do with them is we just unroll them and kind of like tear them apart into strands like this. And you're also going to need liquid latex, so I've got a nice big industrial bottle here, but if you get them from sort of costume stores, they tend to kind of look like this. Either one is fine. I purely have a big one because I use it a lot and it's more economically sort of cheaper for me, whereas these come at about £2 or £3 a bottle, and if you're just doing the one sort of look, then they'll work for you. What you're also going to need is these cosmetic sponges. You can get them from makeup stores, online, some cosmetic stores, and they're pretty cheap and they're reusable as well, so this is what you're after. So once you've applied your makeup, what you need to do first is kind of paint the underneath of the actual sort of mouth piece. So once I get started on the latex, I won't be able to speak, so I will do a voiceover of what I'm doing, but I'll also kind of briefly explain first, so you kind of have an idea of what I'm doing. So first of all, I'm just taking some red face paint. So this is the Snazaroo in bright red. Whatever face paint you've got is fine. If you don't have face paint, you can use sort of red and black lipsticks, eyeshadows, whatever works for you. It's just to apply underneath. But Snazaroo, I find, is really cheap. It's really easy to get hold of, and I find it works for what I need it for. If you've got more expensive brands, then you can use those, but I find that this works fine for me. So my brush is pretty beaten, but I'm just using a small sort of flat-ended brush to apply the paint around my mouth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the lipstick there. And now I'm about to look quite ridiculous, so please don't laugh. So I'm painting my lips and then all around my lips too. So I'm gonna paint on the shape that I'm kind of after and then fill it in. You kind of want to go a little bit over what you think you're going to need, and that way you've kind of covered all bases, because once the liquid latex and the cotton is on there, it's going to be really hard to get your paintbrush in. like the Joker right now. Where's Harley Quinn? Okay, so now you've got your Joker mouth on. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of black in there, just because it's going to be, I don't want it bright red on the underside, even though I am going to add sort of blood and gore in there. We want the bases not to be as bright as it is, so just taking Snaz Rouge black. I'm just dotting that all over. And then with the clean brush, we're just going to blend that out a little bit. It doesn't have to be neat because it's not supposed to be. So just darkening that up a little bit, just adding some different sort of textures. Okay, so now you've got your Joker smile on, it's time to get started on the latex. So you want to pour your latex into sort of like a clear plastic container. So what I'm using here is just a plastic lid that I've got from my eyelashes that I'm wearing, because who says that demon mouth caged things can't wear glamorous eyelashes, right? Right? I think that's the thing. Yeah, so taking this and I'm just going to fill it with my latex. It's easier to get hold of rather than kind of like getting it out of the bottle. So if you're not used to wearing latex, you should be warned that it does smell quite bad. It's got kind of like a smell to it, so you do want to like do it in a sort of well vented room, so make sure you open your windows. Also, if you're a guy and you're looking to do this look, do not do this over your beard. You will completely tear it out and it will hurt. But if you are a guy, you will want to shave first. Also, if you're a woman, obviously you've got hair on your face as well, but I find that doing it over my foundation helps in taking it off. So using one of my sponges, so just using the flat end, I'm going to dip that in the liquid latex. And I'm just going to dab that on there. So we're going to start with the top of the mouth and then work our way down. So using our thin strands of cotton wool, I'm going to stick that on. And using the sponge, we're going to cover that in latex also. This is an incredibly messy tutorial, so do watch your fingers, make sure you've got kind of cloths and things to hand. I am going to be using a brush as well as my sponge, purely because it's easy to get into the areas, but all I'm using is just an old paintbrush. If you're looking to do a quick Halloween look, this is not the one for you, because it does take quite a while, but all I'm doing is I'm just flattening it down once I get down here. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to use some shorter pieces and leave them hanging, you'll see as we go along. It's also best to have your cotton wool strands already split apart, purely because you are going to get latex all over your fingers, and this makes it easier in the long run. Don't worry too much about having it how you want it now, because what we're going to do towards the end is pull it apart. Okay, so I'm getting to the part where I'm not going to be able to talk soon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on along the top and then work my way along the bottom as well. And we'll switch to voiceover Jade.
Okay, so even though I can't talk when I've got this makeup on, you can still drink through a straw, don't worry. So if you do wear this to a party, you're fine. So I've done the mouth a lot wider and a lot bigger than my actual mouth to make it more creepier, as though it's like my actual mouth is ripping through the skin, and more kind of demon-like. I feel like demons don't have as small a mouth as I do. Okay, so I'm just applying the latex and the cotton to the top, and then just as I'm applying the latex, just working it down the piece of cotton and sort of pulling it as I go, just to kind of give it that stringy kind of effect and kind of like ripped skin. I've also just realised how big my forehead is when I scrape my messy hair back. Okay, so I've sped this up, otherwise we're going to be here forever. This tutorial will be really long. So overall this look took me, including the glam makeup, did take me about an hour, but if you've not done this before then I'd give yourself a little bit longer. It is fairly easy-ish, however it does take a while. Did you just see me hit myself in the eye just then? Yeah, don't do that. I also recommend probably tying your hair back as well, as I did not do that. Okay, so now I've done the top half, I'm going to do the bottom half. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing the exact same as on the top, so I'm applying the latex, applying the cotton, and then just doing it in the opposite direction, so building the cotton upwards. And attaching it to some parts of the upper part of the lip, but also kind of leaving some bits kind of stringy and hanging. Also, I should mention, you don't have to have your pieces of cotton the exact same length. It's actually better if they're different lengths. It kind of gives it that more kind of natural ripped look. I'm just using the end of my brush as well to kind of poke holes within the latex, so if any kind of get stuck together, just wanting those to like separate out a little bit and look more kind of like the ripped, caged effect. And be really generous with your latex as well, make sure you put plenty on. Okay, so as I said before, this is not fun to get off either. What I use is this thing called isopropyl myricate, which I'll link in the description below, and I'll also be doing a tutorial on how to remove prosthetic makeup shortly. And it's kind of like, it's a softener, it softens your skin, so it softens the skin and the latex, and you kind of work that into the prosthetic or the latex that you're wearing. Sort of with a cotton bud, you just work it under, and it allows it to kind of peel off quite easily. Okay, so I'm also just filling in any gaps that I've missed with cotton, just to make it a lot smoother around the edges. So now what I'm going to do is, using a pair of tweezers and the end of my paintbrush, I'm just going to gently pull apart the cotton and just pull the strings to where I want them and give it that more kind of ripped skin effect. It's easier to do this while the latex and cotton is wet, it's more mouldable because once it dries it does go quite hard. So also what I'm doing is I'm applying latex around the outside. This allows it to just kind of smooth into the skin a lot easier. It doesn't look like you've got a piece on, it kind of blends into your skin. So just using a thin layer of latex, kind of building that up, will allow that to happen. What I'm doing now is I'm taking Snazaroo's water activated face paint in maroon, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to discolour the latex and the cotton. And this is because if you try to put foundation straight on top of the cotton and latex, it's going to give it like an orange discolour, and it's not going to blend into your actual foundation, blend into your face, which is the look we're after, as this is our ripped skin. So what I'm doing is I'm just gently going over it with a maroon just to discolour it and give it more kind of like a reddy, kind of fleshy kind of colour. I'm just using my finger to blend it out as well, so it's not as harsh a red as what it's coming out as. So now I'm taking my foundation, which is Rimmel's Lasting Finish 25 Hour in Ivory, and this is what I wear on a daily basis. And just using one of those cosmetic sponges that we used earlier for the latex, I'm just going to dab that all over, just working my foundation in, just blending it from the latex into my face. We're going to do this all around the outside, just to blend that into my face, but we're also going to go all the way over the latex and the cotton, right over the stringy pieces, to give the illusion of skin if it's blended in. I'm using my tweezers again just to pull it apart slightly, just to get it how I want it, just because the sponge kind of misshaped it slightly. Now taking my all-time favourite special effects product in the entire world, Ben Nye's Scab Blood, and some earbuds or cotton buds. I'm just dipping it into the Scab Blood and I'm just going to start filling in the holes and working that in. So if there's any pieces of cotton that kind of come up and aren't attached, I'm just going to lift those up gently and work the Scab Blood underneath. This is one of the best products to use. It stays all day, it looks fresh, and it's just beautiful, and I'm in love with it. So using the Scab Blood, I'm also just accentuating the holes and the rips, just moulding them how I want them. I'm using the Scab Blood to kind of make them longer. I also find this Scab Blood, because it's kind of like a paste, it makes it more 3D. Okay, so now I'm taking Mayron's Bruise Wheel. Now, if you don't have one of these, I do recommend getting one if you're getting into special effects makeup. However, if you don't have one, you can just use kind of coloured face paint, reds and browns. And what I'm taking is my foundation sponge from earlier, and I'm just going to pick holes in it. Don't want the holes even, and just want them spread out. Just kind of getting rid of most of the straight edges and picking that apart. And then dipping into the brown of the bruise wheel and also the red, I'm just going to gently sponge that around the outside and over the latex and cotton. Now this is to kind of give it that bruised, discoloured feel, as the skin is ripping through and it's kind of like that caged look. It's not going to beautifully blend into our skin. There's going to be a lot of irritation. So that's the look we're going for here. So this will just give it that. And now taking a stippling sponge, I'm going in with that brown again and also some red, and I'm just going back over. Now this will give it the look of kind of like burst blood vessels and a lot more kind of irritation, kind of like a rash sort of thing. Now I'm taking some fake blood, so you can get this really cheaply online or at Halloween stores. Even some cosmetic stores will stock it. It's normally £1 or £2 a bottle. So I'm just dipping my paintbrush in there and I'm just going over some of the whiter parts of the cotton and into the creases just to give it that fresh kind of red look. And then I'm also going in with that brown face paint again and the same brush and just going over those red parts and any white parts that I've missed whilst doing my foundation or doing the discoloration, just to give it a bit more texture. And because it's my favourite thing and I can't resist, I'm just going in with a little bit more scab blood just to accentuate the rips a little further. And that's the mouth pretty much done. So what I'm going for now is just with a flat eyeshadow brush, so a packing brush, and a black eyeshadow. I decided that I wanted to make my eyes a lot darker. So even though I'd done the glam half of the makeup, I wanted to really kind of give it that deep demon look. So using that black eyeshadow, just a small amount, I'm just going right under my waterline, under my eyelashes, and just gently blending that all along the rim of my eye. Also with that black eyeshadow, I'm just taking a small amount on the end of my brush and at an angle just working that into a crease, not blending it out because I really want my eyes to look inset, so we're just working kind of that one line into the crease to give it that deeper look. And repeating again on the other eye. Then what I decided to do was kind of smudge it downwards and give me the appearance of that I'd been crying. So what I'm doing is I'm just dragging that eyeshadow down with the tip of the brush and also kind of blending it out with the flat end. So I'm just using my finger to also blend out the tears, just to give it that really smudgy look. Okay, so now what's left to do is pop in some black contact lenses to make us look like a demon, and you're done. So this is this tutorial complete. I really hope you enjoyed this Speak No Evil ripped / caged mouth tutorial and the introduction to my channel. If you'd like to see more videos from me, follow me on Instagram at Disguise or subscribe to my channel, and thank you very much for watching.